Okay, so I when I signed up for the program, it was more around the lines of actually it was actually a sponsored program by my thanks to my firm, and the idea was so that we could learn, we could understand the project financing, the life cycle of project financing from the beginning to the end, right? And so that we could, you know, um, we always say that you are the CEO of your transactions. So it's so that we could I could better manage, my transactions, or the transactions within my purview, right? So that was for me, that was the major thing. Another thing that was the main reason why I had a very keen interest in the developing and financing infrastructure project program was so that I could learn, how to, construct models, or how project finance models, are structured, the techniques. You could know how to build models, but then there's some key things that you need to put in place, for project finance models. And for me, that was part of the reasons that was part of my expectations when I signed up for the program. Okay, so there were quite a number of things that was new for me, right? And that was part of those things. Part of it was the fact that I already knew that project finance takes a lot of time, but I understood then that it requires a lot of parties, and that a lot of work had to be put in place. As coming from the angle of the fact that most likely, and based on my line of work, I'm most likely not the project owner. But when you see the project in the light of the project owner, you could help to fast track the transaction faster than it would have been if you just saw yourself as a financial advisor. So for me, that was very keen. That was very keen for me. And also in terms of the regulatory bodies, right? Having to get the regulatory bodies in place while we are doing having to get the regulatory bodies and the timelines in terms of the activities that can happen pari passu, right? In carrying out when going on a project. There's some activities that happen together, right, simultaneously. And if you do not know, you would probably sort of like elongate the project. So these were some of the things that I took out, from the project, from the training. And also in terms of schematics, earlier, before I took the program, I had that challenge in, you would have the idea of what the project should look like or how the project will be structured, but I did not know how to, put it in graphics, draw the schematics, right? We called it the project grid during the program, but we used to call it the structure. So putting the structure in schematics, I had a very big difficulty doing that, but the program made it easier because we were exposed to a lot of projects, and you could already draw them right on your notepad and then picture it and then design it on your PowerPoint, right? So this for me was part of the things that helped me in the program. Also, one of my takeaway from the program was that I found out that it was easier for me when I get a project. I could already picture the potential parties that would need to be on board on that project. So those were like the key takeaways for me from the program. So so in essence, these are the things that have improved, in my work from taking up the project finance program, the developing and financing infrastructure project. I can already see a difference in the approach, towards some projects. I going forward, I intend to apply the lessons that I've learned, particularly in structuring projects, right? in structuring projects, in determining the potential parties that would be on board the project, and also in trying to see the best ways I can to, carry out some activities, simultaneously, so that I could help advance the transaction. And of course, working on my transaction grid and, the structure of the project, of the transaction. I see that I know that I'm going to apply that. I've already started applying that, in my project. If you can, as much as possible, try as much as possible to watch the videos, the learning requirements before the next class. The classes that I was able, because I was combining work and I wasn't able to, watch all the videos all the times we had before the classes, not all of them. So if you can watch the videos before the class, it helps you understand the conversations better, and it helps you to contribute better. And when you contribute better, you know better, because when you share ideas, the tendency that you will forget is lower. So I noticed that when I watch the videos before coming to class, or when my group members, when we discussed the next the required readings ahead of the class, it improved my conversations and my understanding of the next class. So if you can, watch the videos, and also don't try as much as possible not to get overwhelmed, because you have at least 1 year to watch the videos and rewatch them to let them sink, right, without the from